adventure. You will be tested.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
Bring it.
Tribulations await. Walls of social normality are placed before you, block the light of realism from shining through. The tedious process of chipping away at the walls lets streams of light peek through. A light so bright it singes the skin to the degree one has to reconstruct the wall to block it. In short, you can't handle the truth alone. But through the networking of information, together we can rise above the wall before you, filtering the light to a tolerable level.
What's up, brothers and sisters? Truthers and adorners of the 10-4 hat, because we don't believe in magic bullets or buildings that fall like that. I'm Kenneth Webb, and you're listening to ChangeDaChannel, broadcasting live and direct on True Frequency Radio. It's Friday, my favorite day of the week, January 17th, 2014. And joining me, the man, the myth, the legend, Greaserig. Welcome to the show.
You know, you say we don't believe in buildings that fall like that. But, you know, the other day, I was watching the movie Battleship, and a piece of space alien spacecraft crashed into Hong Kong and took out part of a skyscraper, and it didn't pancake. Anyway, just thought I'd bring that up.
Pancakes and eggs, anyone?
No, it didn't pancake. It fell over sideways, man. I mean, that's not real.
You're not going to get that again. There's not going to get that again on any of the cases of any other World Trade Center 1, 2, 7, Pentagon.
Even the Hollywood directors don't believe that crap.
No. Man, you believe that stuff, and you just did. Okay, planes crashed into the buildings. Yeah. Okay, well, the rest of the story, no, I don't. It's undebatable. No way did that happen. No way. No way. I mean, let's just say for argument's sake that it did. That it actually did. Man, they would have had to been ecstatic. They'd be like, what? We didn't even intend for that to happen. Because there's no way you could intend for something like that to happen on something, you know, that could supposedly withstand, you know, what was it, was it 747, 737s or whatever, the smaller jet that hit it, that from the one, whatever, that it was supposed to be able to withstand, you know, a hit from that. Yeah, we could talk about that for you.
I mean, yeah. Even the makers don't buy that crap.
Man.
So anyway, yeah.
So speaking of bull crap, you didn't catch it. We were talking earlier. You didn't catch Obama's speech on the NSA, you know, laying it out like only Barack with a crack Obama could do. And, we're gonna play it and we're gonna stop it and we're gonna ridicule because this thing is just ridiculous, people. It's ridiculous. Just starting off with this first little introductory story here.
At the dawn of our republic, a small secret surveillance committee born out of the Sons of Liberty was established in Boston. And the group's members included Paul Revere. At night, they would patrol the streets, reporting back any signs that the British were preparing raids against America's early patriots. Throughout American history, intelligence has helped secure our country and our freedoms. In the Civil War, Union balloons.
What the? Well, I mean, who's going to believe this? I'm just thinking, okay, now the right wing, they're going to say this is full of shit. Because it is. But anyway. But even like the left, I'm thinking like hippies or I don't even know what, like, oh yeah, well, people patrolling the streets back in the Revolutionary War, yeah, that justifies it. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna think like that? I can't even think of anybody. What's his target audience here?
Oh, he's building on it. That's the thing. That he's building on
but
it.
I mean, he's gonna say that justifies, us spying on our own people and whatever, collecting metadata, blah blah. But anyway,
Metadata. It's the metadata.
But who's the audience here? I'm thinking like, okay, you're talking about patriots and stuff. You're normally talking about the right wing, but they're not going to buy this crap.
Right, you're talking about. Oh, I got what you're asking. brother. The target audience. Who is he directing it? He has to sound like that anyway. Regardless, he has to be patriotic. You're not going to have them sit up there and say, the founding fathers are a bunch of turds and they didn't know what they were talking about. I mean, they can't say that, Well,
no, but yeah, when you're being invaded, okay, now let's say he's talking about immigration. And let's say he's talking about Mexicans, invading the United States, jumping across our borders and farming turnips. And we got some spy in the turnip field. Okay, this makes sense. Right? And still, I don't know who he'd be addressing his topic to, because, the Democrats that voted for him, they don't give a shit. They probably got their own Mexican people working for them on, underground or whatever, illegal. They're not going to buy that. And the right wing, they're not going to buy it just because he's Obama. So who's his audience? Even if it was actually relevant at all, what he's saying, which it's not, of course, because we're not being invaded by the British. So
right. Now he goes on there. Let's give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give him a chance, Greaserig. Give him a chance.
Reconnaissance tracked the size of Confederate armies by counting the number of campfires. In World War II, code breakers gave us insights into Japanese war plans. And when Patton marched across Europe, intercepted communications helped save the lives of his troops. After the war, the rise of the Iron Curtain and nuclear weapons only increased the need for sustained intelligence gathering. And so, in the early days of the Cold War, President Truman created the National Security Agency, or NSA, to give us insights into the Soviet bloc and provide our leaders with information they needed to confront aggression and avert catastrophe.
Exactly. I heard you say that. Exactly. What's that got to do with us?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's totally irrelevant.
Metadata.
And even if it was relevant, I still don't know. Yeah, metadata. That's what it is. It's total metadata.
Metadata. You're going to hear that through the entire show. You might hear this for a while.
Barack metadata, Obama. So no, I mean, seriously. Okay, go on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's just a nice person.
He's trying because he cares. He cares about everybody. He wants to protect us.
He wants to feed the homeless and save babies.
Throughout this evolution, we benefited from both our Constitution and our traditions of limited government. U.S. intelligence agencies were anchored in a system of checks and balances, with oversight from elected leaders and protections for ordinary citizens. Meanwhile, totalitarian states like East Germany offered a cautionary tale of what could happen when vast, unchecked surveillance turned citizens into informers and persecuted people for what they said in the privacy of their own homes.
Mm-hmm. So now with that, you're turning us. Thank you for illustrating that, Mr. Obama.
I know. That's the whole thing.
Now he said some first thing he said that makes sense at all. You do this, and it's dangerous. Totalitarian states talking about and listening to what you're saying in your own private home, on your own private phone, with your own private computer.
Well,
yes, that's the point.
Metadata. Metadata.
The United States, not to be immune.
So we're turning into East Germany, is what he compared us to, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
The abuse of surveillance. In the 1960s, the government spied on civil rights leaders and critics of the Vietnam War. And partly in response to these revelations, additional laws were established in the 1970s to ensure that our intelligence capabilities could not be misused against our citizens. In the long twilight struggle against communism, we had been reminded that the very liberties that we sought to preserve could not be sacrificed at the altar of national security. Now, at the fall of the Soviet Union...
What is it, Greaserig?
We discovered that at communism. That was a statement from the founding humans that started this country. You can't sacrifice liberty for freedom. I mean, security for freedom. Bullshit. You know, that wasn't because of communism. But anyway, this speechwriter was making pretty terms. Oh, the communists and terrible people.
It's leading people. It's leading them. It leads them in a certain direction that they want to take them. And it ain't got to make sense. It ain't, you know, we can sit here and go like that, but, you know, the masses who even took the time to listen, or at least listen to the sound bites of this thing, there's some good sound bites in there if you just took a little chunk and then making the presentation.
Yeah, okay, like, we're not going to be like the communists. Okay, we got to watch that. Fine. Well, who's going to listen to that? I still don't understand that. I still don't know who his target audience is supposed to be.
Obama! Metadata. Obama! Metadata.
Maybe he's only talking to, like, corporate leaders.
No, because they know he's full of it, too. And corporate leaders...
They got to save face. See, they got to be able to quote his shit so that they can keep making shitloads of money by, you know, either collecting metadata or, you know, polluting the atmosphere and the waters and stuff like that and getting away with it because they got special tax, you know, credits or whatever kind of special laws that allow them to get away with it in the environmental freedom zones and shit like that. I mean, those people are going to listen to them because it's profitable for them to listen to them.
Oh, yeah.
But who's the regular voter going to listen to this?
They're not going to listen to the whole speech. There's no way. I mean, unless you are a total worshiper. Unless you are a straight-up Obama bot that follows, you know, like a groupie kind of thing.
Are there really still Obama groupies? I bet there are. Huh?
Oh, yeah, you know, there gotta be. There's got to be.
But it's just been so long since I've actually heard from them. You know, I don't...
Even Cher today, I've seen something about Cher, who was all about Obama. Right? She said today that, you know, that she didn't give up hope on politicians and all of this and stuff. Cher even dumped him, man. I'm like, what?
Wait, you Cher, the singer Cher?
Yeah, she was... Oh, she was definitely all about Obama. I forget what ruling it was. Something that happened. Maybe it was with the NSA in a speech today. I seen it a little earlier today that she had dropped support and she just like she said she'd lost faith in any of them, any party or something. She was tweeting or some crap like that.
That's that.
But he dropped down in the 30s as far as approval rate, and I think I saw that yesterday.
But yeah, the difference with the 30 approval rating means that you think he's doing a decent job. But, you know, you might say, oh, he's doing a decent job even though he's full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wonder what the people who actually believe this. But okay. All right. That's just weird. Okay, well, you know, here's his last term. He doesn't have to believe it. Nobody has to believe it. It's his last term.
Exactly. He's riding it out just like Bush did.
He's got to be saying it for somebody.
Historical purposes too. So when people look back at Barack Obama, you know, as the first black president, you know, the guy who won the Nobel, was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Excuse me, and got us out of Iraq and all of this. When he builds his library, you know, like they all get to do their own little presidential library thing with a bunch of BS in there about how much they cared about the people. That's what it's all about. Because he's riding it out. He don't care. You know, every once in a while you can see it look like he's, you know.
But okay, the speechwriter has to put this crap in there for a reason, though. They have to have their agenda. So let's see, the NSA people have to get like their budgets and crap like this. So maybe the speech is actually addressed to Congress, who's going to approve or not the NSA budget. Maybe that's who the target audience is, Congress.
Yeah, he talks a lot in his
that makes sense
in his speech
Congress
about
pretend they know what metadata really means.
Metadata.
They want to look smart. All right. Okay. That's starting to make sense. He doesn't give a
well, he goes on in the speech about it. He brings up the whole cyber thing. the cyber thing, 9/11, 9/11, 9/11. Then he gets to metadata. Just like they did in the hearings, it's like, oh God, and they started, each one of them just started metadata. We only collected metadata. Well,
where does the metadata come from? It comes from the real data. What the fuck? Hello.
and what they're putting it is, in their layman's terms, they're trying to say that it's data about other data. It's information about information. Yeah, yes, okay, we got that. Well, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean? How much data?
It means anything you want it to mean. That's what
exactly.
It means.
That's how they do it. They do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, just rolling with that same old lawyer talk. 2 + 2 = 5. People running around 5, metadata, 5, all day long, man. It's insane.
They're going to have metadata. Some neo-metadata.
Oh, my.
All right. I'm sorry, Obama. I didn't mean to.
All right, let's don't interrupt him, man. He is a commanding thief.
Left America without a competing superpower, emerging threats from terrorist groups, and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction place new and in some ways more complicated demands on our intelligence agencies. Globalization and the internet made these threats more acute as technology erased borders and empowered individuals to project great violence as well as great good. Moreover, these new threats raised new legal and new policy questions. For while few doubted the legitimacy of spying on hostile states, our framework of laws was not fully adapted to prevent terrorist attacks by individuals acting on their own or acting in small ideologically driven groups.
True. Wait a minute. It was a small group that attacked us in 9/11, and we did the whole nation thing. And now he's saying that we're not I think I'm...
He's full of it, man. This is what kills me about the whole thing. Spending money. I mean, how much is him flapping his pie hole right there costing alone? Just for that whole setup, everything. Network time, the whole deal. How much damn money and all the people that involved in that shit. And then, wasting time on that when really, where's the threat? We don't need a TSA. We don't need that crap. They don't need to be spying on us because they can't name, so far as I have seen, one thing that has thwarted. And he'll say it as he goes on, because I listened to the whole 43 minute flapping his pie hole speech he gave, and he talks about about how thousands have been thwarted. Well, name one, turd. Let me hear one of them. Tell me something. Oh, don't kill me. This cheap bomber. He got caught himself. He's sitting there trying to light with some matches in the middle of the aisle, his damn shoestring, and sitting there in the middle of the aisle looking at everybody all crazy because he's sweating and all this. It's like, come on, man. He didn't go to the bathroom. The BS. The underwear armor. He didn't have no passport, nothing like that. They get him on the plane and all this stuff. And that was, that's after 9/11.
So those weren't thwarted. Those were, government plants anyway. So, all of this crap is... But, I just saw the headlines today. One thing was where Obama said, that we would not, it's not okay for the U.S. to spy on our allies. We can spy on American people, but it's not okay for us to spy on Israel.
Oh, no. He says it. He says it in this speech. As a matter of fact, he even said, he says that what I've been saying all along, the audacity of these people to sit there and act like they ain't doing the same thing. He actually says that. He said, and there, and he also puts in, our closest allies, of course, get access to all of this the NSA database and all of this,
Sure.
So they have been able to thwart billions and billions of terrorist attacks,
Right, but did he say that he's not going to spy on our allies? Because that's what I read in the headlines today, where Obama said that he's not going to spy on our allies. That's not okay.
Truthfully, I would have to rescan that, but I don't think that he didn't come out and say those exact words. But he did.
I saw that.
Oh,
but anyway, so I find it strange that he, spying on American people, and that's okay, but not spying on our friendly allies.
Yeah.
I guess Americans are not allies to Obama.
No, exactly. Why does it always got to come back to us? You know, the guy on what was it, Wednesday's hearing about it, about the whole NSA spying thing. One guy he brought up a really, really good point, you know, and that's what it was about. And that's when he got into the metadata. That's when he started throwing that shit around. But he said, you know, why are you trying, instead of like, he said, you know, like the Boston bombers and all that stuff. He was like, well, why wouldn't you able, even though they were on these sites, on these websites, you know, that you're supposed to be looking at, you know, the extremist websites and all this and catching that, you know, because they explained that, you know, they would only wait for like key words and key things to bring it together. And it's like, but that'd have to be that initial action of them actually going to one of these websites or posting on these extremist websites and all of this stuff that's generally run by, you know who, the CIA and MI6. I mean, we know all that, but, you know, maybe it is the real one. When it's not like we hadn't created enemies by going around trying to slap everybody up in the face around the world, pissing everybody off. So I'm sure they are.
A lot of enemies too, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. Right there, you hit the nail on the head. If we didn't constantly making new enemies, we wouldn't have need for the security.
Well, here's the thing. Right, exactly. Why, with all the soft targets in the United States, that if you wanted to take, you know, why they keep trying to get on the planes? Why they keep trying to get? It don't even make no sense. Why? To prove that they can get on the planes? I mean, really, seriously, it's just like the dumb. No, I'm talking. It's supposed to be a full-on military threat from these terrorists out there who are organized and well-funded. And we should be scared that we spend trillions and trillions of dollars all the time on this crap to protect ourselves from it. You know, but they continue to try to get on the plane, and it's generally some smoke, pop, fizzle when they do make it on the plane, like the underwear bomber and all that crap.
Spend the money training our police force not to shoot unarmed people.
Oh yeah, oh man, that's becoming the norm. Every damn normality. Boom, boom,
all the time. Why don't they just like give these guys a raise?
But
if they don't shoot
on the same side, on the on the same way of thinking, you also gotta look at it now. Cops out there, you know, think about them. And you know, we've had our run-ins with the police many a times. They done beat us and did everything else known to man. But I will state this, you know, I know there's just good people and bad people and everything, and I know that there are. But look at what they face as the public. And look at the normality of our society and just how crazy it is. You go up on the regular traffic stop where back in the day you didn't worry about getting shot, you know, all of that kind of stuff.
You know what? I think it should be the raise. If they fucking give them enough money, give them training, give them medical care. It's a hard job, I granted. It's a fucking tough job. I wouldn't want to do it. I fucking totally wouldn't want to do it for many reasons, but not the least of which is I don't want to deal with all these fucking psychos every day. And looking for people doing well, it's a horrible job. But okay, besides that, give them enough money so that you get qualified applicants to start with, and desire qualified applicants, not stupid robots that'll, you know, just shoot on sight, and be, you know, arrogant pricks that they to prove or something, whatever themselves, and increase their budgets like double, and not spend it on tanks, but spending it on the actual human police officers themselves. I think we'd be a lot safer.
Well, you know, it would have to
all this other crap.
That would have to go hand in hand with the social change, you know, of people in society out there, you know, because I think a lot, it all feeds off of itself. I mean, if say you're in the police force and, you know, all you do is people that's pissed at you all day, and it might not even have nothing to do with you, but, you know, it's because of your life, and you just, and violent people. I would just imagine, I mean, and I see in less violent places and smaller communities with a lot less violence, there's a total difference. Excuse me.
Right. But it feeds off itself, like you said. The negative feeds off itself, but the positive does too. If the cops start treating people with respect and actually start doing their job of protecting and actually serving, which would be really amazing, and you know, do their job, they can still be protected themselves with their body armor and crap. But if they actually treat people with respect, that would feed back too, and they wouldn't have so many people hating on them.
But they ain't training them like that, and they got all them they got all the leftover goodies from Iraq and all of that, all of those goodies that go on.
Weapons, and they got the shitty
APCs.
people that are like, they want to be, low self-esteem so that they have something to prove, so that they walk around strutting around like a fucking rooster trying to prove that they're powerful because they got a gun, and they start shooting people. That's the kind of person that they want.
Yeah.
Because they want to be in power. They want to feel, strong and get somebody with this confident, strong personality that can, take this verbal abuse without getting pissed off. They can perform an arrest and handcuff the people without having to break their arm just to prove they can. Some teenage girl spits on them and they have to get mad and they have to break their fucking nose.
Well, not all of them. But they're training. That's it. It's in the training
but
too.
That's how
look how they're training them and giving them, and then plus on top of it, the people they got to deal with, which is a bunch of pissed off people.
But that's why you got to fucking pay them, and you don't make so many enemies, and you pay them more to deal with those people, and you train them psychological to be able to handle this shit. There's training on how to handle asshole people. It's not a big deal.
It's pretty hard. No, Greaserig, it's pretty hard. Well, we get ready to go to break. We got to hold this thought. We're
talking about budgets. That's all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
$1 I don't know how we got sidetracked, but yeah. Okay.
We get ready to go to break. When we get back, we will continue with the hoodoo voodoo that they do. I'm Kenneth Webb, and you're listening to Change the Channel, broadcasting live and direct on True Frequency Radio with my special guest, Greaserig. We will catch you on the other side.
There's only one choice. To resist.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
I live not for myself, I must concede 1,000,000 miles an hour. My mind exceeds calculating the inner workings of the system. Deleted to conceited, let me list it. The search for immortality is vanity, sanity is plain and simple yet complex. Our thoughts on our own, my mind reflects, letting me know we've been hexed even before we were born. Our innocence torn, our souls worn a degree of false evolution against nature's constitution. Therefore I struggle to find a solution. A revolution? But I quickly grow weak as I start to peak and must conclude and plug delete to focus on being alive. Breaking from the battle I strive to focus on the things that drive me in the first place. Tranquility with the agility to recognize the facility that surrounds the feeling of life that be, like the simplistic being of a tree. The life that pulsates from inside you, inside me. So excuse me if I get pissed at their rationalizations of their manifested nations that forsakes all creations. We cannot change the station while they finish their masturbation of the word.
And we are back. I'm Kenneth Webb, and you listen to the Change the Channel, broadcasting live and direct on True Frequency Radio with special guests, the man, the myth, the legend, the mad scientist on the mountain, Greaserig. And we were talking about Greaserig wants to hear him say metadata, and
I want to, we were talking about but that's kind of I want to hear Al Capone talk about, Barack Obama talk about metadata.
All right, I'll fast forward to here and see where we are.
Right. Metadata.
Questions about the privacy safeguards currently in place.
Oh yeah, the one you can click that says.
After an extended review of our use of drones in the fight against terrorist networks, I believed a fresh examination of our surveillance programs was a necessary next step in our effort to get off the open-ended war footing that we've maintained since 9/11. And for these reasons, I indicated in a speech at the National Defense University last May that we needed a more robust public discussion about the balance between security and liberty.
Now, we didn't have no public discussion about anything until the leaked documents came out.
yeah, for real about that. But now he's talking about getting out of the, what he called the open-ended warfare game. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of his stated goal in all of this?
No, it sounds good for, a Nobel Peace Prize, winner, a recipient.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a weird one. Okay, but, so to get out of the, all right, I'd have to hear that again, but okay.
All right, here we go. Yeah, let's rewind it.
We're raising new questions about the privacy safeguards currently in place. Moreover, after an extended review of our use of drones
something like that. These are corporations. They can do whatever they want with that data and the metadata.
That's the whole thing that really gets me. It's like, then they can pull information, because he goes into later in his flab in his pie hole. He talks about, and they said it at the hearings too. They kept saying about that. Do you know how much information, that all these companies out there collect on you? Like they have it, and they use that thing on the internet where you go on a website and then you go over another website and you see the advertisement of this website that you was, because it's advertising to you. And they trying to compare this. And what I think they got is, because he goes on, also says always talking to the lawyers as far as like how they can lawyer talk around anything they want to. They where all of our phone calls, right? They have access to them. They don't need, they just need the information. I think this is where they're trying to push this as far as the legalities, is that they just have information from that information is there, perhaps, or something like that. But are they holding the information? That's the question. I don't think they even need to hold the information. I'm sure they probably are. I mean, they probably are. Who knows? But they wouldn't need to, because it's all there. The phone companies have all of the information. It's
private corporations,
right?
Companies, Google and Facebook and YouTube and Skype and whatever have all this information already. And I guess we're discussing whether it's legal for those corporations to sell it to the U.S. government.
Exactly. Or just take it.
It's going to be collected.
Oh,
and, we decide to use Facebook, and you can put all the little disclaimers. My information is in private. You can't sell it. But Facebook's going to do whatever they want with it, because they're a private corporation and they have no Bill of Rights.
Well, or they just go like, well, we were hacked and all this information was gone. So they had to disclaim that your information is out there, like they always do in everything, when it could have very well been just backdoor operations from the NSA, CIA, or anybody else of the A's out there, or the I's.
So if the government is getting the information from private corporations, okay, is that what they're talking about? Metadata? That they're not actually doing the collecting themselves, that they're actually just,
No. The way they're pushing it is that they are just collecting information over the information that's out there. And I mean, I don't know that much about the stuff, but just looking at, what they're saying and the words that are coming out of their mouth, this is what they're saying. But,
Well, I mean, it could be anything. It could be, statistics. It could be, I don't know, besides statistics, whatever. There's all sorts of kind of ways you can interpret that, but it doesn't really mean very much. It's not specific. It doesn't say that they're not going to catch, change the channel using the word terrorist one too many times. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or something. Maybe it does mean that. I don't know. It's just pretty much meaningless nonsense to me, but.
Yeah, I mean, metadata is a set of data that describes and gives information about other data. Data, information. So metadata is information about other information, and that's a pretty broad thing. Information is facts provided or learned about something or someone. I mean, this is the language they use. So if you
exactly. And what does the lawyer talks mean when they say that? Because they define all these terms. The lawyer talks, the speeches and the laws. They define what they mean by metadata. I'm sure they have that defined someplace. And then whatever that definition says, that's what it means. It doesn't necessarily mean what the English language means,
And they've been doing it. I bet you they've been doing it since the inception. I mean, look at the FBI. With that old cat.
I mean, he just admitted they have. When he's talking about the Revolutionary War and World War II and spying on communism and the 1970s, spying on the anti-war protesters and stuff like that. Yeah, we've been doing it all along. Mm-hmm. And now, because of Snowden or whatever, it become a big talking point? Or is it just because somebody's making a lot of money with contracting to collect this metadata?
Well, this is with Obama. was trying to say through his whole little storyline. When he goes into, spying on protesters, and he goes through the whole little story from the Paul Revere all the way up, going through all this stuff and trying to play it like he plays it, his role. And what his role is like, keep doing what we're doing anyway, and we're just going to spend the money on, spend your money on our money on creating little panels and all of this crap to look into the stuff and then make suggestions and all of this stuff, and then turn around and it's going to continue on just like it always has. Look through the history of just look at the last 20 years, how many committees is up for this, investigating that, how many times all this stuff, and then look at the people who are doing the investigating, and they're always connected somehow to the, campaign money they finance, all this stuff, man. It's just insane, and they'll just keep on with it and keep on doing what they're doing, and then next thing you know, they'll turn around and it'll become law that they can do it, and they've been cool all along.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like after the shutting the barn door, or what is that, wagging the dog or whatever. Mm-hmm. But did they? I got a question that came up in my mind while you're talking about that. In his speech, did he actually say the benefits of all of this activity? Collecting metadata activity.
Oh yeah, they say it's helped stop thousands of.
Does that?
Numerous. He said. I wish I could find. I should have it time marked. Let me see.
Yeah.
We cannot prevent terrorist attacks or cyber threats without some capability to penetrate digital communications. Whether it's to unravel a terrorist plot, to intercept malware that targets a stock exchange, to make sure air traffic control systems are not.
Yeah, he talks a lot about cyber stuff in here.
Well, wait a minute. We cannot do this without penetrating digital communications. Why is it digital communications? Why isn't it just like analog, normal, human talking communications? Why isn't it like letters? Why does it have to be digital communications? So I'll answer my own question because it sounds nice in the speech. It's a big word that makes them sound impressive. What a bunch of crap. I mean, we cannot do this without, accessing digital communications. Whatever.
I know. And I got to tell to the listeners out there, man, we know it's messed up. We know how deep the rabbit hole. We know what we're talking about is at face value. This is what, people out there see and hear and trying to figure out,
I think he's just trying to impress these people with his big words, vocabulary. Well, not him, but the speech writers. And I think they must be trying to impress congressmen because they got to be easily impressed. It's not going to impress the Republican, voters, and it's definitely not going to impress it's not going to impress the Democrat voter, the people that voted for him, and it's not going to impress the Republicans, that's for sure. But it might impress the Congress people enough to continue funding the NSA and all the metadata collectors and all the people that are working contract jobs, that are managing it, that don't know what the hell they're doing, so they're sitting there spending all their big budgets on the software people who are actually writing the code that knows it's all bullshit anyway, but they're collecting the money, so they don't care. That's got to be the only, when non-technical people start talking technical words, they're just bullshitting. They don't know what they're talking about, but they want to sound smart.
Mm-hmm.
Digital communications.
Yeah, give him a chance. He's going to get to his metadata here in a minute. Hold up.
Compromise.
Huh?
Okay. I'm thinking digital. I'm thinking CD versus vinyl records, But anyway, okay.
Yeah, but we know. Don't even start that, Nick, because we know vinyl, man. Vinyl.
I think terrorists are going to start communicating via vinyl records and analog tape, so that the metadata people can't get.
Oh, that's already happened. Remember when they went from their full quality videos of Osama, and then it started deteriorating because they had to, and then it got
camel.
You're sitting there, bed changing, face changing, not even the same person. Just look like they got a homeless guy off the side of the road somewhere and put him in there, and then it got so bad. Then they went to audio tapes. They went to cassette tapes,
and all the right people believed it. And then And it's like, hello, you know. And now I'm wondering, are all the left-wing people going to believe this crap?
And they will until
Really?
until the Republicans get back in the big puppet seat. In the main puppet seat there, once they get a Republican back in there, we're gonna see a big difference in all the listeners out there. All the listeners out there, all the YouTube followers that Change the Channel all around, we're gonna see them. I know it's coming. That's why I was really hoping Romney was gonna win so we could go on and get down with it, but we'll have to wait, and still might have to wait even longer. No telling what's gonna happen. You know, Hillary,
what a crock, man. That'd be so funny.
what?
I mean,
Sarah Palin?
Yeah, man, one puppet's as good as the next.
That would be, man, because you could just do video after video after video.
Entertaining.
Oh my goodness.
But okay. So, you got metadata queued up?
I'm trying to find it. I think he's getting close to it. He's starting to get into it.
Okay. Yeah, he's talking digital communication.
Or to ensure that hackers do not empty your bank accounts.
Oh. Hackers.
We are expected to protect the American people. That requires us to have capabilities
To take everything and all the information about you.
in this field.
They're telling us that this spying is going to prevent hackers from getting in my bank account.
They're going to say
And I'm supposed to believe that. Yeah, that's what he said.
right. And he even justifies him. You know how he talked about warrantless wiretaps and all this stuff back, you know, during the Bush era and all of that. And he all gets all into it, and he tries to make himself seem like he's a balanced guy. You know, he even makes his own people, his own party mad at him, you know. Not just the Republicans and the Tea Parties and you know, the Libertarians and all of that, but his own people. So he must be good. He must be looking out for the people.
And his wife gardens spinach. Gardens her own shop.
She ain't gardening nothing, man. He paying for that.
That was sarcasm.
Yeah, exactly. I know. But that just heats me up with her, because back when he first got in and stuff, I was talking about how much it cost. It broke down to how much it cost for the police officers and Secret Service to block off a city block of commerce and all of this stuff. How much it cost for her to go down to the store and get her a freaking head of lettuce instead of having one of them people that we pay very good money to go run down there and do it. She got to cause all this mayhem and cost us all this extra money. And people are like, they finally, after she got her organic garden in her backyard, they were like, well, she's got an organic garden now. And I'm like, how much is that costing us?
Ding dongs believe that crap. Right. And she didn't even do it, okay? She never did it. She never actually planted the seeds. She just directed the activities. But all the left-wing ding-dongs, they love that shit.
She went out there and took a daggone, she had one of them little mini shovels out there acting like she out there doing something for the photo ops as they was reporting on it. Remember that crap about his kids, too? Oh, my God, his kids. And people get pissed off. They're like, don't talk about his wife and his kids. I'm sorry, he gets stuck in my face. I remember when he was just running and when he was first president, they were like, oh, here's what his kids, the type of backpack that his kids were wearing to school, and the media was all over it. And I'm just like, so? I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. So, but people did. They bought that. You know, they love that shit. Do they still? I guess that's one of my biggest questions right now is are these Obama, whatever you call them, Obama groupies, are they still groupies? Are they still there? Do they still buy all this stuff he's saying? Are they impressed by his language of digital communications and metadata?
Well, you know, Greaserig, you got your different level of groupies. You got your newbie groupies. You got your mediocre journeyman groupies, and then you got your hardcore. And I don't care if the ship is sinking, and Obama's telling you it's not sinking, and you're already, the water's up to your kneecaps. And he's telling you there's no water in there.
Are there still... I want to meet some of these people. We should like interview a whole bunch of Obama groupies, the hardcores. I want to hear what they have to say.
San Francisco, I bet you they gotta be out there.
I haven't heard of them. I'm like, all my Facebook friends are from San Francisco, and none of them.
They were when he got elected, though.
For sure they were. That was the greatest thing on the planet. But now they're not. Nobody is, as far as I can tell. They're nobody. Nobody likes this fool anymore that I can find. And I am in San Francisco.
Second term, turd, man, you know. Second term, again, all the bones could pop out the closet all day, and they just sit back. Yeah, it's cool, because they're riding their time out, and he know his payday it hasn't come yet. And when he gets out, he can get to build his little library. Oh man! And as far as he gonna make a speech, get $250,000 every time he flap his pie hole, telling a bunch of lies about what he did, what he really didn't do.
Sure, he's gonna make Clinton look like, cheap shit. Is Biden gonna run?
Oh, no, there's no way they're gonna let that turd run, man. He's too much of a doofus. He's not a good front man, really. They can't put the doofus out there. I mean, really, I know Bush, okay, granted, okay, but,
Yeah! Exactly. And Sarah Palin, and what's her name? Mrs. Clinton, she's kind of not doing too healthy, is she? She's not gonna make it.
She might. I think she'll run again.
Oh, she was like having cancer or something.
Oh no, they ain't gonna kill that lizard alien slack.
Just download her to a new body, huh?
Metadata.
Exactly. Oh God. Okay. No, that's just the news forecast here. I'm just wondering.
Yeah. No, I don't even know. Because it always flops around. I think it was such a contested one this last time that if she does run, that she'll probably get the nomination. I don't think Biden's going to do it. He really is. I mean, if you look at every time he's opened his mouth, it's just been like he's like a Vice President Bush. That's what he would be like, Junior, right? It'd be like him as Vice President. Every time he opens his mouth. Except Biden
Bush was the Vice President, wasn't he?
No, I'm talking about old man Bush. I'm talking about Junior.
Okay.
His persona into it's just like a derp every time he talks,
Yeah.
And
maybe we need a Democrat doofus.
It would be fun. I mean, if Biden got president, I mean, as far as chopping him up, he's not good at that, except for being a doofus and saying dumbass stuff, So, it would be easier to break down the stuff, that crap that he's talking besides, Which, I mean, cause look at Barack Obama's nothing but an XL Clinton, right? Bill Clinton came out, got on MTV. He was hip. He was down. He played the saxophone and everything. He played with B.B. King. Remember that my picture on Facebook when I jammed with both of them. And,
yeah, that's good. It's metadata right there, man.
Metadata. But he
had
was
his favorite dog. He had the dog.
I think they gotta have somebody hip. Democrats gotta have somebody hip in with the young people, because that's where the majority, supposedly, of the young vote is.
Hillary ain't gonna make it. They're not gonna put her in.
Oh,
Bill
would love it. Bill would love it. He'd be the first man. He would he'd be eating that up. Back in the White House again. He'd just, yeah.
He'd be wearing fashionable clothes and doing gardening.
He would redesign. He would decorate.
Okay. That's just really weird, Anyway, okay. He'd buy like pretty underwear.
Yeah, exactly. I even during like the Romney and Turd's election, I was hoping that because you can actually tie an election. I think that would be crazy, because then what they do is take one of them, and I think the Senate votes who wins the presidency at that point, and then the Congress decides who is the vice president. Or vice versa. I think it was the Senate for the president and like that. So, and they knew at the time, when they were in that one would pick Romney and the other one would pick Obama. And I was like, oh, now that would be priceless. That would be priceless right there. But of course it didn't happen, because I think it's all pre-decided anyway. I mean, really, I don't think there's really that much. I mean, I think there is a lot in the voting to where people go out and do vote, and what they do adjust the numbers. I mean, they've been caught adjusting the numbers ever since, the whole introduction, through the whole thing. People throwing those ballot boxes over the river and all this crap, So there's always been some scandalous stuff going on with it. But I think at face value, just like they have on the world platform, these politicians have to save face value and play the good guy just for the world audience and everything.
For now, yeah. For now, they still have to do that. I don't know how much longer, but for now.
But look at how this sloppy they're getting. I mean, really, this sloppy. I mean, that birth certificate was sloppy, and it's like, yeah, I know you could do better. It's not like they don't have the resources to do better. They did it on purpose, you know.
Or they don't even care. Yeah.
Right.
They don't even care if it's sloppy. It doesn't matter because it's irrelevant anyway.
Right. Yeah, you can keep your health care plan. You can keep your doctor. Oh, but period. I mean, you can keep your health care plan. You can keep your doctor. Period. Let me reiterate. He said that time and time again in all his speeches all around the country when he's flapping his pie hole about this stuff. And then guess what? And then they're like, oh, well, it was a half-truth. And I'm like, what?
Well, I kept my health care program. I didn't have any health care program before, and I don't have one now.
That's where I'm at. I'm in the same boat. In the same boat. Sitting there watching these fools sitting there flopping around whether they're gonna try to charge us on some taxes and make us pay something. You know, this is just like, dude, oh, is that gonna happen? We don't know. It's just like, y'all just more money, give me money. Give me the money. That's
seriously, it's also full of shit right now. And I don't know if it's ever going to recover. It might. I mean, we may actually, hit a point where the American people get tired of being lied to constantly and being bullshit and being told crap and insulting our intelligence with this shit, that we might actually demand a responsible government, maybe. But it's so bad right now as far as the bullshit that it's almost boring. It's almost like a bad soap opera.
But the thing is they always keep the masses out there going from one point to the next point. Now, I mean, the people who actually care enough to pay attention enough, but they don't really have the information, they're sitting there thinking like, oh, okay, well, here comes these midterm elections up in Senate and Congress and all of this. This might make a difference. Then, a presidential election, right after that, we got a whole year and a half of hearing the flops about, them running for who's going to run and all of this crap, that we're going to have to deal with. And then it keeps those people, keeps them looking forward. Here comes something else. And if they lose, guess what? We're going to win the next time. We'll get them because they suck. And
they've been playing that game for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't people like, you always got the young voters, the new generation that haven't been seeing this game for a long time. And when you got the old farts that die.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what they're counting on.
Oh, yeah, the old divide and conquer. But we're running out of time, brother, again. It's been a quick hour.
No shit, huh?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it always is on that. The 2 hour, I got to get into doing 2 hour at some point. I'm going to get back into it. Yeah, I know. I was doing 2 hours. And then when I came over here, I do it 1 hour right now, but I'll get back into 2 hours once I get back up and operational fully. Anyhow, thanks for coming out, brother.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And that's all the time we have for today, guys. Don't forget to stay tuned for the Freedom League with Joe Joseph and Johnny King. I will be joining those cats during the second hour. And I'll be followed by Popeye's Down the Rabbit Hole. And then it's Illuminating the Shadowland, followed by Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis. I'm Kenneth Webb, along with special guest Greaserig, and this has been ChangeDaChannel on True Frequency Radio. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, maybe on Hangar 18, tomorrow night from 10 to midnight, 2 hours Eastern time, where it's a roundtable discussion. Hopefully it's going on. Maybe I'll check it out. I'll be on there too. Anyhow, I will catch you. If I don't catch you then, I'll catch you Monday, same time, same place, and I'm out.